Hey everyone, Kyle Mike here from MLive.com. Joined by Justin Rogers. Week 6 now. Lions still on the schneid. Justin still looking for their first victory of the season. Schedule lightens up a little bit. Bears coming to town. They have won 2 in a row, but 2 and 3 overall. Have struggled a little bit. No Alshon Jeffrey to this point, although Jeffrey could play against the Lions. Who do you got?
Yeah, Jeffrey's questionable for this one. Yeah. As is half the Bears roster and about 2/3 of the Lions roster. But I did the matchup this week, and I found myself wanting to give more to the Bears as I went down the list. But if the Lions are going to get a win, this is the week. And just call it a gut feeling with Jay Cutler as the opposing quarterback. But I think the Lions get it done this week. I know 1-5 isn't a whole lot better than 0-5, but it's better than 0-6. So,
I mean, they host the Vikings the next week, and they're in London on neutral field against the Chiefs, who are terrible as well. So there are opportunities, I think, for wins beyond this week. But this week, I do think they get it done. I've got the Lions winning 24-21. I think the bigger surprise might be me picking the Lions to score 24 points, considering they haven't scored more than 20 since week 1. But no, I just think the Bears have played a little better, but they're still not a very good team. Cutler's a little streaky. He's susceptible to being rattled. The Lions have gotten after him the past couple of years. I think Ziggy's going to have a good game again. Josh Bynes is out there. I think he's playing all right. I think the defense will be fine. Offense gets back Joyke Bell. I know people love to hate him, but he said it wasn't 100%. That was a big reason for the struggles. I think they'll be a little bit better when he comes back. I don't know. I just feel like it's that time. The Lions have to win this game before the wheels really come off, and I think they get it done.
Yeah, I don't think the Bears' passing attack's going to be very good. Jeffrey is banged up. Bennett, the tight end, got hurt in practice this week, so they're losing a lot of their weapons. Their other slot receiver, Eddie Royal, is also questionable for this one. Their left tackle is questionable, so as you mentioned, Ansah could have a big game. I think the bigger concern, as it always is when you play the Bears, is Matt Forte. Yeah. He's not just a danger carrying the ball, leading the NFL in rushing yards coming into this one. Sans Freeman in Atlanta, who already played this week, but also a very dangerous weapon on the backfield. Set the NFL record last year with over 100 receptions for a running back. So without Levy out there, I think he becomes and probably Nada's out too. I mean, that's a tall task. I mean, we saw what Arizona did to him last week with 3 carries of 25 yards or more.
I didn't look up the stat before this video, but I know when the Lions played the Bears in week 16 of last year, I looked up the stat of Forte was averaging at that point more than 100 yards a game rushing against the Lions for his career, which is a pretty amazing stat. Jeffrey's had some big games too, though, against the Lions. Really tore up Slay a couple of years ago, averaging 88 yards a game, receiving in 5 games against Detroit. So that's a huge boost in the Lions' direction for a defense that's been good at times, but sporadic. And part of the problem is the lack of the pass rush, or at least the pass rush they had last year under Terrell Austin, and not having Nada, Tyron Walker being out for the year. That's a huge blow. With those guys plus Levy, that's 3 of your better front 7 guys who are down. I think that's a problem. But again, I just feel like the Lions, the offense is. You noted it very well this week, Justin, in your film breakdown, that there are signs that the offense is getting something together. The 6 turnovers mask some of the improvements, I think, that existed in the play calling and that existed in some of the success of some of the plays. They moved the ball a little bit. It was just masked by 6 turnovers, which I actually looked it up. In the past decade, teams that turn over the ball 6 times, 4 and 52. 4 and 48. So it's not very good. It's pretty bad.
I'm surprised there's 4 wins in there, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Bears' defense is bad. They don't have a very good pass rush. They've kind of already started aborting their season when they traded Jared Allen. Secondary is banged up for them. What they had already was average, and they'll be without safety Entrell Roll. This is a really good opportunity for the Lions to build off some of the ball moving that they were doing early in that game. And if Stafford cleans up some of the really bad decisions that he made in that game, and Amir Abdullah or whoever's carrying the ball can make sure to hold on to it, and the Lions really focused on that in practice. They always practice ball security, but you saw even more drills this week, protecting it all the way through the play, particularly the end when you're fighting for that last yard. I do think 24 points and even upwards of that is possible against this Bears defense, and that's where I think the Lions can take this game, is if the passing game finally gets on track, puts it together.
Yeah, and you can say a lot of negative things about Stafford, and right now you can say a lot of negative things about him and his game. But one thing that we know about him is that the guy is confident. It takes a lot to shake, I think, to shake Stafford, at least away from the field. And I think he's taken, considering he's a franchise quarterback, considering he's a number one overall pick, and considering he's been benched for the first time in his career, that's a massive story. It's been a national thing. I know you and I have both done radio interviews across the country this week talking about Stafford and his future in Detroit. But I think he's taken it all in stride. Like, given how big that can be, I think he's done a nice job this week of putting it behind him, saying a lot of the right things, and every teammate, every offensive player I've talked to has said that he's been great this week in the film room, and on the field he's looked better, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think there is hope that he could bounce back. If anyone can do it after a benching like that, I think Stafford does have the mental capacity to do it.
For all the talk of the benching this week, I still look at it as an acceptable thing. I thought the timing was a little weird when it wasn't Stafford's fault, but I think it was okay benching your quarterback. I think that sets a standard of accountability through that locker room that nobody is safe, and that's an important message for a coach to send when your team is reeling the way it was. If the Lions were 4-1 in that game, and then they benched Stafford, I think we'd be a lot harsher on the decision. But
yeah, I talked to Amir Abdullah, who's had his own turnover issues, and he said, no one told me I was getting benched, but I wasn't surprised by it either, because three fumbles, that's tied for the league among tailbacks, just not good enough. So there is some elements of accountability. We'll see if there's progress. We're both thinking there is, at least this week against the bad Bears. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We're at MLive. Keep it right here.